What's happening, plebs? Really out here with another set review, and Dark Illusions is pretty much legal. Well, I don't think it's legal yet, but the sneak peeks are happening right now, so you guys are out there at your sneak peeks collecting your new cards and stuff like that. So I thought I'd make a video going over what the new stuff in the set is. I'll be doing mostly generic cards here because I do want to make a new video for various archetypes that are coming out here. Most of them are kind of terrible. So yeah, I'm gonna fire through this because I spent 20 minutes recording my last one and my computer froze, and that really triggered me. So I'm just gonna fly through this. Basically, like if you guys remember my Shining Victories set review, I went through all like the generically good cards in that set, pointed them out for you guys. So I'm just going to do the same thing with this set. Overall, my general conclusion is that there's nothing particularly great from this set other than the archetypes themselves. Some of the archetypes are really good. It's nice to see Dark Magicians being viable and stuff like that. But generally, when it comes to like generic, like non-archetype, like random good cards, it's just not here. So yeah. Let's begin. Magical something, not good. Spell counters, stuff like that. All these performer pals generally suck. Radish Horse is kinda decent, but honestly, it's not great. Basically, you can special summon it from your hand if your opponent controls the same number of monsters, at least the same number or something, and a special summon monster. So it lets you do like rank 4 plays before your pendulum summon. But it's just not great because I don't see any reason you'd play it over something like Unexpected Die and stuff like that. You know, cards that would already sort of be a staple in your pendulum deck if you're still running like Draco heavy version. Honestly, most of these performer pals are just not good. And also from now on, I'm going to be referring to anything that does some kind of number manipulation of the attack points. So basically what this thing does is, as a scale effect, target a monster your opponent controls, you reduce its attack by its own attack or a performer pal monster or something like that. So basically, see when something reduces or changes the attack, I'm just going to call it a battle pack card, because cards like that are generally just terrible. You know, but the battle phase isn't super important in this game. It's all about your main phase, your field presence, your setup, your card advantage. Beating over a monster in 2016 isn't like the big of a deal as it was, like, you know, 8 years ago, right? So I'm just gonna call them battle pack monsters. This is basically a really good battle pack monster. Acrobatic Magician, I think, was yeah, it wasn't good. I've already read through all these, by the way, so I'm just gonna be, you know, just to like keep my mind fresh and stuff. I'll be clicking a few of them. I'm not going to read out everything. So that thing's bad. The DD stuff isn't great. The Blackwing stuff's pretty terrible, except Gofu. And it's funny because Gofu isn't actually going to be run in Blackwings. Well, you could potentially, but this thing's actually really good, like in Metal Foes, because what it does is basically it's a red layer level 5 tuner. Special it, and then you special 2 tokens, and the tokens are level 1 0 attack and defense, but they can't be used as synchro materials or attributed. But you can fuse them away with Metal Foes fusion to make the Metal Foes dude. And it's level 5 tuner. So what you can actually, I don't think it matters if it's a tuner. Actually, I think it needs to be a tuner. Basically, it lets you make Ultimaya, and with Ultimaya and Metal Foes, you're able to like set Metal Foes fusion from your deck, special Clear Wing from your extra, activate the fusion you just set, and fuse away the token and a pendulum monster, a Metal Foes pendulum monster, and you get like the fusion guy as well, I believe. I have a video on my channel, I think it's the last one I uploaded, going over the different combos and stuff like that. It's basically showcasing some of the first turn plays that Metal Foes can do, and it includes Gofu. And it's a common as well, so you should definitely pick this up if you want to try Metal Foes. These red cards, they're terrible. Magician and Dark Illusion, I think this is a staple 3 of in Dark Magician. Again, I'm not going to be going over all the archetypes in this card, but I just wanted to highlight that Dark Magicians are getting a bunch of new support in this set. A lot of it's kind of decent, and if you don't want to play this deck, you're going to be needing to pick up a playset of these, I guess. This is super rare, probably not that hard to get hold of, but yeah, I think you do need 3 of these to play Dark Magicians. I'm pretty sure it's a 3 of. But like I said, for the new decent archetypes coming out in this deck, I will be doing deck profiles and how to plays and stuff like that as soon as I can. So yeah, Magicians, Robe and Rod, I think both are quite decent. I think Rod's the better one, I'm not sure, but they're just commons and supers, so just get 3 of each from your sneak peek. It shouldn't be too hard. Masterpiece, the Draco Slayer, is a new ultra rare. It's really good, but it's just hard to summon. That's the issue with this card. Basically, you summon it by tributing a Slayer and an Overlord from your side of the field, and then once per it's infinity on Lex, so it's once per turn during your player's turn. Card effect is activated, negate and destroy. Right? It's so good. It's huge. It's infinity. And when it leaves the field, well, when it's destroyed by an opponent's card, battle or card effect, you special a Slayer and an Overlord from your deck, so it floats as well. It's actually really good. It's just kind of hard to summon, and obviously the fact that it's not a pendulum monster. Maybe if it said something must first be special summoned, and then it was a pendulum monster, it goes back to your scale, and it was level 7, hits blunt. You know, if it had all those different effects, it'd be broken. But it's it's not great. Metal Foes, again, I'll be doing a different video for this. This True King, basically this is a new archetype where I think it's a new archetype, and they've only included one of this card. Basically, you destroy 2 other monsters in your hand, including a fire monster, and if you do special summon this card, and then banish a card from your opponent's side of the field if both the monsters were fire. It's basically similar to Dragon Rules in the sense that they special by destroying or banishing themselves, in this case destroy. And I think some of the other ones are on the internet. I'll leave the link in the description if I can come across them, but there's only one in this set for some reason, so there's probably more to come. It's an ultra rare, so if you can get it for super cheap, it might be worth holding on to for the future. The Triamid archetype I heard was garbage, and this is coming from Duncan, by the way. Shoutouts to Duncan, and he knows trash. If he thinks something's trash, then you know it is trash. Shiranui Sage, this is the Lone Fire for zombies. It specials a zombie tuner from your deck with 0 defense. It specials out the Gaiyus and Synchro Fusionist. I forgot his name for some reason. I even forgot it in the last video, and it's still not come to my head. I don't know why, but yeah, it's really, really good. It's you know, it's zombie Lone Fire tuner and stuff. Extend your plays. It's so good, so good. I'd get this thing if you're interested in like generically good random synchro deck combos and stuff like that. Will it be meta? Like maybe not. Do not Magician, not good. Scapegoat is literally a flip monster. Scapegoat token. Block Dragon had potential with the Triamids because they're all rock earth monsters. Basically, Block Dragon is special itself by banishing 3 rock earth from your... Oh wait, no, just earth actually, not rock. Banish 3 earth from your graveyard or hand. And yeah, rock type monsters you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. So it's not great, but it's kind of decent. And when it leaves the field to the graveyard, you can add 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand. So lots of advantage there, but the problem is, do you guys know any super good rock monsters you want to add from your deck to your hand? Probably not. Amaterasu is terrible. It's like level 9 flip effect is banish all cards on the field, but you know, you need to set a level 9 in 2016. Spellstrider was almost good until I realized you can only banish from each side of the from each side of the field instead of one side of the field. Zap Mustang is dumb, like lock it creates. Tuning Gum is kind of decent. Target one monster in the field, it becomes a tuner. And basically the other important effect is banish it from your graveyard and negate the activation of an effect that targets one of your synchro monsters. So, you know, if you want to play synchro deck, Tuning Gum and Shiranui Sage, you could probably play those together potentially for some fun stuff. Wrecker, Panda's terrible, Fairy Tail's terrible. Metal Foes, again, I'll do a video soon probably. Nirvana High Paladin is so good, it's just kind of hard to make, so it needs 1 tuner or 1 or more non-tuner synchro materials. For this card, Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 pendulum monster you control as a tuner. So any pendulum monster you pendulum summon, you can treat as a tuner, but the issue is how are you making a non-tuner synchro monster in pendulums? It's... Pendulum decks like don't tend to play tuners apart from level 4s, and it's level 10, so you can kind of like work with it. So you make it like Ignister, and then like you need like a level 2 tuner or something like that. It's just kind of convoluted to make, but when you do make it, holy shit, bro, it's good. I'm sure there's an easier way to make it. I'm sure I've heard there's an easier way to make it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, anyway. So when it's if this synchro summoned using a pendulum monster tuner. Target one card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, so any card. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, half your opponent's life points. If this card in monster zone is destroyed by battle, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. And then it basically becomes a battle pack monster in the pendulum zone. So it is good on the field. Halving your opponent's life points, like, it's pretty strong. The Black Wings suck. The Dragon Archfiend sucks. Coral Dragon is kind of decent. So I was thinking maybe you could find a way to make this in pendulums to be able to make Nirvana High Paladin. Level 6 generic. Once per turn, discard a card, target a card on the field, destroy it. So it's actually really good by itself, and when it goes to the graveyard, you can draw a card. So it offsets the neg of being a tuner. So maybe if there's a way to make this in pendulums and then make Nirvana High Paladin, it could be decent. It could be decent. Let's see. Coral Dragon. Yep, just went over that. Ebon High Magician. I think you can play like one off in your Dark Magician deck. It's okay. Super Hippo Carnival is okay. It basically specials level 3 from your deck. Lunar Light, Fright Furs, not great. Dark Contract, not great. Dark Magic Circle. Staple 3 of. Like, you need this card if you're playing Dark Magicians. It's so good. So good. Let me just check if the other effect is once per turn. You can only use each effect of Dark Magic. Oh, it's a hard once per turn. Still really good though. Secret rare, so it's going to cost you a little bit. But, you know, the weeb life, man. If you want to be a weeb, you got to get this card, man. You know, you got to spend that money. Illusion Magic's also really good. It's just a rare. You need it for Dark Magician. Dark Magic Expanded isn't great. Metamorphose cards again. Metaphor, I know for a fact, isn't good. Triamid cards. Cosmic Cyclone. Pay 1,000 and MST a card, but banish it, basically. I think this potentially just straight up replaces MST. Obviously, as a secret rare, it is like, is it a secret? Yeah, it's secret rare. Would I pick it up? If you're tight on money, you probably don't need it that much. There's nothing in the game you really want to banish as a back row. Cosmotown, you know, is good. Obviously, a good target for it. But then again, you're probably siding for their monsters in back row rather than Cosmotown, so it's not really something you'd play specifically for Cosmo. Banishing Scout is also really good as well, so you can make sure that you stop them from getting back with climate change. MST will do me for now, I think, because really the back row doesn't matter if you banish it or destroy it. In the end, back row's back row. As long as it's off the field, you should be fine. So it is good, don't get me wrong, but like, I'd probably wait for the price to hype down first. Pot of Desires, I think, is honestly a staple. Like, in Japan, these guys are playing it in everything. Literally, banish 10 cards from the top of your deck, draw 2. Like, just straight up, like, +1. Yes, you might banish some of your engine cards, but I think, statistically, it's actually not as dangerous as you think. Unless you're resolving this every turn, at which point, yes, it's probably is dangerous, but, you know, it is actually really, really good. Midbreaker, Battle Pack card, Carousel's terrible, Fusion Fright Wars is terrible, King Scarlet's terrible. Magician Navigation, I think, is again a 2 or 3 of. I think it's just a 2 of in Dark Magicians. Secret rare, very expensive shit, yo. If you're gonna play Dark Magicians, this set is gonna be your favorite set, but it's gonna be a bit of a money sink. But Navigation is really good. Metalfoes cards, Triamid's bad. That's a Bustablader card, I think. Floodgate Trap Hole is good. Basically, it's Quaking Mereforce for a summon. So if you special summon like 10 monsters, which you can't do legally, but let's say you're at table 500 and you special summon 10 monsters, you can set them all and they can't be flipped. So it's decent. Pendulum Hole is literally just strike for pendulum summons, but better. You put them into the back into the deck, and it doesn't have a life point cost, obviously. And it's a common. It's a common, boys. It's a common. We're really out here. Everything else I skipped there was garbage. This is a bad Mind Crush. Ninjutsu Art Notebook. Yeah, we're not playing ninjas. Subterror is I don't know how good it is, honestly. I didn't really properly read it. The field spell's good, I heard, and they're all ultra rares. Like, Jesus, like, in terms, if you want like a good budget deck, like, this deck isn't, like, it's not even that great. Right, it might get good in the future with support, but no. Yeah, don't bother picking up Subterrors for now. Spirals, I haven't actually read a Spiral card yet, but like I said, I will be reviewing each archetype from the new set soon, so stay tuned. Trains, we have trains, boys. Basically, this thing is a rank 10 Felgrand. Making rank 10s is super easy in this deck with Revolving Switchyard. Yeah, this deck is really cool, you know, and they're all commons, and this thing's a super. Like, trains are pretty cool, I'd definitely, like, play it if you want to, like, bring back Shaddolls or something. I heard train Shaddolls were good. I don't know why train Shaddolls specifically, but apparently it's decent. This thing is it's basically a battle pack card for the scale effects, the monster effects. If it's destroyed, add a warrior from your. It's battle pack card really. Paleozic is literally just an archetype of trap card monsters. Don't really need to say more about that. So we finally did it. We're out here. I managed to shorten it down as well, second time round, and yes, it's been a long one. I'll think of a hashtag by the end of it. Sorry. Yawn. Tired. Okay. So this has been my set review. Good luck to everyone out there at your sneak peek collecting these things. I think there's some real cool stuff in here if you're interested in Dark Magician and Metal Foes. Metal Foes especially looks super fun. Check out the video. I'll leave in the description for all the combos and stuff they can do. Deck profile as well, and hopefully I'll get straight on to looking at the Spyros, reviewing the Triamids and different stuff like that and Dark Magician deck as well for the future. So thank you everyone. If you have watched this far into my video, just leave a comment. Don't use the hashtag this time because for some reason YouTube starts highlighting as spam if you use a hashtag, so no more hashtags from now on, but just comment saying trains baby. If you're in the if you've watched this far, if you've spent like 17 minutes listening to my annoying voice, just leave a comment saying trains baby, and I'll know you've been really out here. Thanks again, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Haha, hee hee, XD. Bye.